So, Rashid Lake, first of all, and very happy to be here on my way back to Sri Lanka for the relic ceremony and the Buddha's 2,600 years celebration there. And I was lucky to stop by here, and then Lama Dawa comes up with the idea about sharing some Buddhist teaching, how to deal with the daily life, practicing Dharma in your daily life. So that was an honor, and also it's a good idea to share some of my understanding of the Buddha's teaching with the students here. So for that, I would like to thank Lama Dawa and the members of the center and all who helped to have this opportunity this afternoon.
Campbell 咧就係佢今次咧其實係過境香港嘅啫，咁因為佢咧就係去呢個斯里蘭卡有一個慶祝佛陀2600週年嘅一個慶典，咁佢經過香港嘅時候咧，咁啱咧，咁Lama Dawa咧就邀請佢，希望同大家分享下關於譬如佢對佛法嘅啲體會啦，特別就係話點樣將佛法係應用喺呢個日常生活裏邊嘅一個咁嘅題目。咁Campbell 就話佢好榮幸咁有機會今日同大家去分享呢一個題目，咁亦都首先要好多謝Lama Dawa去安排呢個活動，同埋所有令到呢次教法可以發生嘅任何所有嘅法友，多謝大家。
So actually, I'm not going to say anything different from the teachers the teachings that you have listened to from the teachers in the past, especially, of course, our very venerable, our root Guru Khenchen Trangpa Rinpoche, and also Lamas and the Khenpos in the past who have visited our center in the past. And neither I also have a different teachings other than the Buddha's teaching, of course. So what I'm trying to do this afternoon is kind of refresh or recall the teachings that you have listened in the past, and also share some of my own experiences dealing with the Buddha's teaching to the path that lead us to enlightenment. So we'll be very simply discussing about Buddha's teachings and something that may refresh you, and it will be kind of a refreshing the teachings of the Buddha with my own, in addition to that, with some of my own experiences.
咁今次咧 Campbell 就話咧，佢唔係話要特別去要教一啲乜嘢新嘅，或者有咩特別唔同嘅教法俾大家。咁特別就係話可能大家咧可能已經喺我哋好尊貴嘅重要嘅上師根本上師創古仁波切裏邊啦，或者係其他重要嘅仁波切或者喇嘛裏邊咧，已經得到咗好多各種嘅教法㗎啦。咁所以咧喺呢度咧，佢唔會特別係教啲乜嘢新嘅嘢嘅。咁佢亦都唔會教一啲其他除咗佛法之外一啲另外特別嘅教法，佢只係都同大家講翻佛法嘅啫。但係佢今次要做嘅咧，就係話希望可以同大家咧提醒翻大家啦，或者係重新再更新一下大家對佛法嘅認識。嘅意思就係話咧，佢希望將佢所學到嘅嘢，佢對佛法嘅體驗同大家去分享。咁因為佛法咧就係一個能夠引導到大家去證悟呢個佛果嘅一個教法嘅道路嘅。咁佢就係喺呢度希望咧就同大家分享一下。佢對佛法修持嘅體驗啦，同埋令到大家咧去更新大家對佛法嘅認識，亦都係重新提醒翻或者喚起翻大家對佛法之前學過嘅佛法嘅認識。
Having said so, but with not forgetting our traditional, so we first begin the session by going to refuge to the Buddha, to the Dharma, and to the Sangha, and after that generating bodhicitta for the benefit of all sentient beings, as we are the practitioner of Mahayana Buddhists. So in order to do that, please join your hands together and we chant a short prayer which are going for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, and after that generating the bodhicitta.
咁但係我哋咧點都係要維持翻佛法嘅傳統，就係首先咧我哋一開始咧就要向呢個佛法真三寶做呢個歸依啦，同埋之後咧我哋就會一齊去念誦呢個發心嘅一個發菩提心嘅文，就係話希望為利益一切眾生嘅緣故咧，我哋去聽聞修持呢個佛法。咁所以咧 Campbell 會帶領我哋一齊首先合掌念誦呢個歸依發心文。
Sangye che dang tsoge chonam la changcho pado da ne gyab songche dagi jin so gebe sonam chola benje sangye do parasho sangye che dang tsoge chonam la changcho pado da ne gyab songche dagi jin so gebe sonam ge chola benje sangye do parasho sangye che dang tsoge chonam la changcho pado da ne gyab songche dagi jin so gebe sonam ge chola benje sangye do parasho semjen tamje dewa dang dewe gyo dang dembare dunga dang dunga ge gyo dang drawar ge dunga mebe dewa dang ba dang me drawar ge niren cha dang ni dang drawe tanyum chenpo la ne par gyo je. So as a Mahayana Buddhist, the follower of the Mahayana Buddhists, we should generate bodhicitta in beginning of every session or every step that we are going to take. And it is very, very important to recall and not to forget all these other beings that are outside there. And for the benefit of all those beings outside there, we or I am going to do something, even if it is short teachings, even it is a short practice of your own, or even something that is beneficial for all beings, like big project or building a monastery, whatsoever. We need to have this bodhicitta to generate bodhicitta, and that is the main practice of Mahayana Buddhism. So therefore, we also today, this afternoon, I would like to request all of you that today, before we listen the teachings, we generate bodhicitta, thinking that I'm listening these teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings. And how that thought can benefit others is that it will make you prepare that whatever the teachings that you'll be hearing today, you will apply this not only for yourself but for the benefit of all beings in the future when you attain the bhumis and the path in the path to liberation. So therefore, it is fundamental and it is also very necessary to generate bodhicitta and not to be self-centered, but also share your thinkings, your good virtues, or your patience or your diligence in the practice of the Dharma for the well-being of all sentient beings.
咁所以就係話，因為我哋咧大家都係一個大乘佛法嘅一個追隨者啦。咁所以喺大乘佛法裏邊咧，最重要嗰一點就係呢個發菩提心。咁所以就係話，無論咧喺任何一個你做任何嘅修持啊，或者譬如話我哋喺個修行道上每一步咧，最重要都係要唔好忘失呢個發菩提心。咁呢個重點就係話咧，我哋可能就係話喺任何嘅場合，包括可能只係你做一段好短嘅一個修持啊，或者係你聽一段好短嘅教法啊，或者我去講一段好，就算個經嗰個講教法好短嘅，你一開始嘅時候都係要第一步就係要發呢個菩提心。咁嘅意思就係話咧，你要提醒自己，我而家去做呢啲事情咧，就係要為咗一切眾生能夠得到究竟安樂、遠離痛苦而去修持嘅。咁所以就係話，我哋而家坐喺呢度啦，包括我哋自己啦，或者同埋大家一齊喺度咧。咁譬如我哋喺度聽經嘅時候咧，我哋咧都係首先要提醒自己要發菩提心。就算你做一啲好細嘅事情都好，無論嗰個修持嗰個 session 係嗰段時間幾短咧，咁你都係要提醒自己發菩提心。或者你做一啲大啲嘅計劃，可能你要起間寺院啊等等各樣事情咧，首先一開始都要提醒自己要發菩提心嘅。因為咧發菩提心呢一點係一個大乘最根本嘅一個嗰個教法嚟嘅。咁就所以就係話咧，好似今日下晝我哋大家一齊嚟到聽呢個經嘅時候啦，首先我哋就係第一步喺聽聞佛法之前就要提醒自己要發起呢個菩提心。咁係咩呢？就係話希望我哋能夠為利一切眾生而去聽呢個佛法。咁點解我哋發呢個心能夠有呢個幫助到，有呢個對呢個幫助到眾生呢？就係因為嘅意思就係話，我哋發起咗呢個利他嘅心嚟去聽經嘅時候呢，咁當你一路修持佛法嘅時候，第日將來就算你得到可能一啲各種唔同階段嘅，譬如各種嘅五道十地嘅功德嘅時候呢，你得到呢啲功德都唔係為咗你自己嘅，而係為咗利益一切眾生而得到嘅。咁所以呢，就係話我哋一定要保持一個利他唔自私嘅心。譬如包括就係將你所有嘅做嘅善行啊、你嘅功德啊、你嘅精進啊，一切呢啲咁嘅行為心念都係為咗你一切眾生。
Of course, you have heard this many times from many teachers, but today what we are going to do is not only the empty words of generating bodhicitta, but please let me allow to practice and think about bodhicitta for 5 seconds. And really feel it from within your heart. Really think all those beings that are really in need of help, animal beings or even in the human beings, how many of them are lack of opportunities, how many of them have not enough to eat, how many of them cannot survive without all these facilities. You just think anything that can be remembered, and please share this. And for the benefit of all these beings, I'm trying to practice Buddha Dharma, or I'm listening these teachings today. So please, we just spend 5 seconds really feeling within our heart and generating bodhicitta.
咁我哋呢一度重點就係話呢，我哋可能聽過呢個發心啊好多次啦，但係我哋就係唔可以將呢樣嘢留為一啲空講嘅説話，我哋就係希望呢，大家真係能夠去修持，真係要認真去思維呢樣嘢。咁個情況就係話，大家而家可以藉住呢個機會呢，用5秒鐘，大家一齊呢，可以一齊思維一下，可能其實好多眾生呢，喺我哋周圍啊，你可以思維到佢哋可能係冇嘢去食嘅，佢哋有好多物資啊，好多材料都好短缺嘅，甚至佢哋有一啲情況呢，冇人去幫助佢哋，係好無助嘅，好痛苦嘅，冇我哋咁多呢啲咁好嘅暇滿嘅機會去聽聞佛法嘅。咁我哋就嘗試去諗一諗佢哋嘅痛苦，而去將我哋呢啲菩提心發心，希望能夠發心幫助到佢哋。而家做一陣一齊去思維呢一個問題。
Okay, so now we come back to the actual subject that we are going to discuss this afternoon, and the subject that is to how to deal, how to practice in the daily life or spiritual life, and differences between the spiritual life and the daily life. It says, is there a difference or not, and how can you apply the Buddha's teaching in your daily life? So we will be going to talk about it. But before talking about this, you should question yourself whether it is possible that you can practice, whether it is possible that we can get enlightened. Do we have that potential? And the answer is yes. We all have that potential. We all have that potential which is known as Buddha nature. And that very Buddha nature is present within us. We don't have to go far to look about it, to find it. It is present within us, and therefore it is very, very important to realize that we have this potential. And it is up to you whether we would like to attain Buddhahood, whether we would like to enlighten or not. It depends on us. But we do have this potential. And I would like to recall and remind you that we do have this potential which is known as Buddha nature. And that is not just taught by me. It was mentioned by Buddha himself and all the masters in the past, and also including our root guru, our Thangpa Rinpoche. So you should realize and recall and remind yourself that you have this potential. So we should practice then.
咁所以我哋而家就翻返去我哋今次呢個主題。咁我哋今次呢個講座嘅題目呢，就係話我哋點樣喺日常生活裏邊咧去修持呢個佛法。咁首先呢，講呢個題目之前呢，我哋都會討論就係話究竟係咪我哋日常生活同埋呢個修持佛法嘅修行嘅生活呢，或者所謂嘅精神生活係咪究竟有分別嘅呢？同埋如果或者係話我哋亦都點樣將我哋嘅修持嘅佛法點樣去運用喺呢個日常生活裏邊呢？咁但係喺討論呢啲問題之前呢，首先我哋都又要再問自己，咁究竟我哋係咪真正能夠可以去修持佛法？另一方面就係話另一個問題就係話我哋要問自己，咁究竟我係咪真係能夠去證悟得到咗呢個究竟嘅佛果嘅呢？ 咁 Campbell 嘅答案就係話係嘅，因為點解呢？就係話因為我哋每個人呢都係有一個佛性嘅意思，就係話我哋有成佛嗰個潛能嘅。但係就係話，而呢個咁嘅佛性或者所謂成佛嘅潛能呢，就喺每個人都會有噶啦，每個人都本具嘅。但係個問題係喺邊度呢？就係話你有冇發現到，同埋你有冇去認知到你有呢個佛性存在嘅啫。咁而能唔能夠去認知，相唔相信你有佛性呢？就係真係取決於你哋自己去選擇噶啦。但係個問題就係話個佛性係確實喺我哋所有人裏邊都有嘅。咁點解呢？阿 Campbell 就係話呢個嘢唔係佢自己作出嚟嘅，呢樣嘢呢係所有首先係由佛陀親口宣説㗎啦。而就算我哋喺根本上師創古仁波切嘅教法裏邊呢，都非常強調就係我哋眾生都有佛性嘅。咁所以而家我哋首先就係你要認知咗我哋有佛性，都要去提醒自己，要去憶念翻呢個佛性，同埋要提醒自己係有佛性嘅。
Having the Buddha nature or the potential, is that alone enough? No. The answer is no. And then next, what we need is the human body, what we so-call precious human body. And so we have to question ourselves whether we have this precious human body. And the answer is yes. Because we are here, we have already entered the gate of the Dharma. We have lots of teachings and blessings and empowerments from our Guru. So we have this the precious human body, and this is very important. So we have the potential, and then we have this human body, and these are the support for your practice. And then the next is, then what should we practice if we have the potential, if we have this human body, precious human body, and what practice that we should do? The practice that we should do is the Buddha Dharma. And the third question will be, then who made this Dharma? Who established this Dharma? Is this new, something very new from this world, from the nature of this samsara? No, the answer is no. This teaching is not something new that Buddha has introduced us. These are the reality that Buddha realized himself and simply shared with us. He did not create his Dharma. He did not create religion. It's the nature of phenomena that he realized and he shared with us. And he has shared, and that is why the first talk that he gave, he just mentioned the truth, not the teaching, not the religion, but the truth that he has realized, and he has shared this truth with us. So therefore, the practice that we are going to do is not different from the real nature of this phenomena.
咁好啦，但係我哋譬如話，首先已經認知咗我哋有佛性啦，咁但係夠唔夠呢？咁係唔夠嘅。咁下一步呢，就係話我哋需要一個暇滿嘅人生啦。咁所以我哋而家就要開始問自己，咁我有冇一個暇滿嘅人生呢？咁 Campbell 就係話其實大家都係有嘅。點解呢？就因為你哋其實已經入咗呢個佛門啦。咁入咗呢個佛門之後呢，你哋亦都曾經接受過各種嘅教法啦，亦都譬如接受過創古仁波切嘅灌頂啦，咁樣呢啲咁嘅情況已經證明咗大家已經擁有呢個暇滿嘅人生啦。咁但係如果你有咗呢個，你明白到眾生都有成佛嘅可能嘅佛性啦，另外你又有咗暇滿人生之後呢，下一步係做咩呢？我哋有咗呢個人生作為支持之後呢，我哋下一步就係要利用呢個暇滿人生去修持呢個佛法，修持呢個佛法啦。咁要去做修持啦，佢嘅意思。咁之後我哋就要問，咁我哋需要修持啲乜嘢呢？頭先我已經講快咗，就係我哋要修持嘅呢，就係用呢個暇滿嘅人生去修持呢個佛法啦。咁但係話，如果好啦，我哋而家要修持呢個佛法嘅話呢，我哋就會問，咁邊個去創造或者係邊個將呢個佛法帶俾我哋嘅呢？咁當然就係呢個釋迦牟尼佛啦。但係呢，呢個佛法究竟係咪一啲新嘅嘢，或者有啲人創造出嚟嘅呢？其實呢就唔係嘅。而呢一個咁嘅佛法究竟係咪個本質係咪喺輪迴嘅有為法入邊嘅呢？亦都唔係嘅。呢個佛法其實唔係一啲任何新創造出嚟嘅嘢，而係只係釋迦牟尼佛佢發現咗出嚟嘅嘢呢。咁佢發現咗啲乜嘢呢？佢就係其實發現咗呢個諸法。呢個所有現象嘅本質，即係我哋呢個世界嘅本質。佢釋迦牟尼佛嘅證悟就係只係發現咗呢個世界萬法嘅本質，而佢就係知道咗有咗呢個證悟之後，就向大家宣説出嚟嘅啫。咁所以釋迦牟尼佛當佢證悟之後，第一個教法呢，佢宣講嘅就叫做四聖諦。諦嘅意思就係話佢只係講咗呢個諸法嘅實相，話翻俾你哋知。佢只係將佢發現到呢個世界自然嘅定律話翻俾大家知，佢唔係將一啲乜嘢新嘅嘢去教你，所以其實呢一度唔存在任何一啲譬如話一啲新創造出嚟嘅嘢㗎。
So therefore, the teaching is the reality of phenomena. So therefore, should we go far away to be a practitioner? The answer is no, not necessary. You can live as a human being in the world, doing your daily activities and practice at the same time. Because Buddha's teaching is not different from the nature of phenomena. So it's only the matter of how you transform them and bring and make them as your daily practice. So therefore, you don't have to go far away or go to remote places in order to practice. You can be as what you are and practice at the same time. So this is what I'm going to talk about, like how you can practice well-being as a householder, well-being as a monastic monks, also in the householder, well-being as a doctor, as a teacher, as a nurses, whatever your profession is. So you can still practice at the same time, because the practice itself is not other than the nature of the phenomena.
咁所以就係話呢，如果你明白其實佛法嘅意思，只係講翻一切諸法實相嘅嗰個真實嘅個真諦啫嘛。咁嘅意思就係話呢，佢唔係一啲除咗呢個我哋而家處於呢個環境之外嘅任何嘢㗎。咁嘅意思就係話呢，我哋唔需要離開我哋而家呢一個咁嘅環境去向外求任何嘢嘅。如果我哋修持佛法嘅話，我哋仍然可以保持住我哋身為一個人喺我哋呢個環境嘅生活裏邊，而喺呢個咁嘅生活入邊，呢個咁嘅狀態裏邊去修持呢個佛法係得嘅。咁嘅意思就係話呢，我哋可以亦都係將我哋嘅日常生活嘅行為啦，將佢轉化為一個修持嘅道路係可能嘅，因為我哋頭先講過啦，我哋佛法所形容嘅嘢就係我哋諸法一切嘅事物現象嘅本來嘅真諦或者所謂實相，而呢樣嘢就係喺我哋嘅日常生活裏邊係冇分別嘅。咁嘅意思就係話我哋唔需要走入去個山入邊啊，唔需要去離開我哋而家呢個環境去向外求呢個佛法嘅修持。所以就係無論你係一個家庭主婦又好，你係一個醫生又好，你係一個護士又好，或者係做任何嘅專業都好，或者你係一個修行人都一個出家人都好啦，你都可以就住你所處嘅一個環境，用各種各樣嘅因應個環境嚟去進行嘅修行嘅。
Because the teaching itself is not other than the nature of the phenomena, then we do not need to update our teachings. We do not need to upgrade Buddha's teachings. We can still follow the Buddha's teaching that has been 2,556 years ago. Today is Buddha's Jayanti in Nepal. Yesterday was Vesak Day, Buddha's birthday in Malaysia. And Hong Kong was, I think, 28 or some April. So anyway, therefore, because true nature of the phenomena is the real teaching of the Buddha, then we do not need to upgrade or update them. But of course, the way of doing the practice can be upgraded. We can practice as a 21st century. We can follow the century and the practice, but the true teaching itself should not be upgraded.
咁所以就係話呢，頭先我哋講過呢個佛法係咩呢？就係其實佢講咗諸法我哋所有一切萬法嘅實相嗰個真理啫嘛。咁嘅意思就係話你明白到佛法係代表呢樣嘢意思呢，咁就係話表示大家亦都話俾大家知，其實佛法就唔需要去做任何嘅改動改進，都能夠切入翻而家呢一刻。即係呢一刻頭先講過就係話佛陀出世之後已經係2556年啦。咁因為啱啱譬如話係東南亞或者尼泊爾都係啱啱慶祝完呢個佛誕嘅日子嘅，喺佢哋嚟講係好似係早幾日嘅。咁所以嘅意思就係話，你明白咗佛法個意思就係解釋或者係話翻俾你知呢個所有萬法嘅實相個真諦。所以咧喺佛法嚟講，佢一路都係任何時間都係啱嘅。但係去修持佛法嗰個方式咧，就係需要因應翻唔同嘅時代去可能作一啲改動，但係本身佛法嘅內容咧係唔需要作任何改動，因為佢只係形容翻一切現象嗰個實相。
If Buddha has created the teaching by himself, then by 21st century we may need to upgrade them. It will be old-fashioned by then, but it is not, because he just spoke about the true nature and the truth. That's why it is still active, relevant. It is more important nowadays.
咁特別就係話，如果可能你會問咁佛陀如果佢講嘅嘢係真係唔係諸法嘅實相嘅話呢，咁可能到今時今日呢，佛法其實已經變咗一啲過時㗎啦，已經係變得唔合呢個時代㗎啦。但係大家你可以發現，到時今時今日呢個佛法仍然係好受歡迎啦，亦都係對呢個時代好有幫助，仲要係仍然都係好充滿活力嘅。
And he was very, very kind. He said he has given the full right to us 2,500 over years ago. he simply said that do not follow my teaching just because I said so. You have all the rights to examine, and whether you want to follow it or whether you don't want to follow it is up to you. So he was a great teacher, actually, very kind, and has given the right in those days. We do not need to go about our freedom, fighting for our freedom, but at that time he has already given us the freedom of choosing the path.
咁特別佛陀佢宣講教法嘅時候，佢真係非常慈悲嘅。咁喺當時即係2000幾年前啦，佛陀宣説教法嘅時候，已經將完完全全俾嗰個選擇權俾咗佢啲弟子嘅意思就係話，佢已經同弟子講咗，你唔需要去強迫，即係佢唔會強迫你，或者你唔需要去一定要去跟從佢嘅教法，你絕對可以用盡你嘅能力去測試啦，或者去質疑佢嘅教法。你去唔去追隨佢佛陀嘅教法，完全嗰個權力係喺翻一個你自己裏邊嘅。你有完完全全嘅選擇權，去選擇去唔去追隨佛陀嘅教法。所以你可以睇到佛陀喺當時一宣説呢個教法嘅時候，已經係非常慈悲咁將呢一個咁嘅權利選擇權俾咗佢弟子，而唔需要冇需要弟子唔需要去爭取呢個權利，佢已經主動咁將呢個權利俾咗弟子，所以佢真係非常慈悲嘅。
Many people have this misconception of thinking that spiritual person or spiritual life is very, very high and valuable, whereas our normal daily life is not so meaningful. And this is actually misconceptional. We can make our daily life spiritual life. There's no contradiction in it. In my understanding, spiritual life is the being a very good human being, a very good, kind human being who values others' rights, who take care of others, who has this bodhicitta of benefiting others' beings. And that really good human being itself, he or she is already a spiritual person.
咁我哋有時就會有個錯覺呢，就係話咁樣一啲精神修養、精神修持呢，一定係一啲好高嘅，係非常有價值嘅生活啦。而我哋嘅日常生活呢，就係一啲好似好冇意義嘅生活啦。咁但係呢，阿 Campbell 就話咧，呢個係完全一個錯覺、一個錯誤認知嚟嘅。其實就係話呢，喺我哋嘅日常生活裏邊呢，我哋都可以將我哋日常生活轉化為一個好有價值嘅一個精神生活嘅。咁嘅意思其實咩叫一個精神生活、有精神修養嘅生活呢？其實就係話，如果你能夠將你嘅生活，或者你能夠將自己成為一個好慈悲嘅一個人，好為他人設想嘅一個人，係喺你嘅生活裏邊係發揮到你嘅菩提心嘅。咁其實呢，你咁樣嘅生活、咁樣嘅行為呢，就係一個生活緊係一個好有精神修養嘅一種生活啦。
And also, many people think that to be a spiritual person, we must neglect or ignore our daily life, and this is not true. To become a spiritual person, you are not necessary to neglect or ignore the daily life. You can still be a spiritual person by involving your activities, your daily life activities. And therefore, as a lay practitioner, you have this opportunity to practice at the same time when you are engaged with these worldly activities. So the most important thing here is how you think, how you take it, how you transform your thinking while dealing with the daily activity or daily professions.
咁我哋有時亦都會覺得就係話，如果我係集中我嘅注意力啦，或者我係好想去努力去修持嘅精神修養嘅話呢，可能嘅意思就係話，我會令我嘅譬如日常生活所有嘢呢，我都會忽略佢啦，去唔擺注意力落去啦。咁佢亦Campbell 亦都話呢個係錯嘅，亦都係，因為嘅意思呢，根本呢兩樣嘢呢係可以同時去進行，同埋亦都喺我哋修持精神修養嘅時候呢，亦都唔能夠忽視呢一個我哋嘅日常生活嘅。咁特別係就係話，我哋而家呢根本就可以用我哋嘅日常生活各種各樣嘅所緣呢，就去進行我哋嘅精神修持嘅。特別就係話，而家我哋身為在家居士呢，就係完全可以用呢個方法去修行啦。咁就係話呢，喺我哋嘅日常生活裏邊呢，咁我哋就係用我哋所遇到嘅各種各樣嘅因緣呢，就係將佢轉化，或者係將佢係攞為作為我哋修行嘅一個道上邊嘅一個對境啦。
So therefore, now I'm going to talk about with these 3 different sections or categories in our daily life, how you can practice while involving your daily activities. So I'll categorize into 3. 1 in the morning, second category will be in your whole day, and the third will be in the night time before you sleep. So I'll talk about this divided into 3 sections. So in the morning, when you woke up, it's very, very important to have good heart, to generate kind heart, and that if you could able to generate very kind heart in the very early morning, because when you just woke up, you are fresh, your body got if you have enough sleep, of course your bodies are more relaxed, your minds are more fresh, and then at that time it is very good to practice, spend maybe around 5 to 10 minutes by yourself, trying to generate good heart, kind heart, thinking that, oh, today I'm as much as possible, I'm not going to harm anybody. Today, as much as possible, I'm going to try my level best to help others. This is actually very powerful, because it makes you, like, because of the power of that thinking, it will follow you the whole day, and that depends on how you deal the daytime work with having this kind of thought in the morning, setting up this kind of kind heart, because the power of that kind heart comes together with you in the whole day. So it is very, very important that you can have at least 5 to 10 minutes in the morning time, just after you wake up. Try to generate good heart and think and make some kind of commitment as much as possible. Don't say 100%, because we are still a human being, but as much as possible, I'm not going to harm anybody. As much as possible, I'm going to do something beneficial for others today. So this thought, if you could do, is very beneficial.
咁所以以下咧就會分3個部分嚟講解點樣喺日常生活裏邊修持佛法嘅。咁其中包括就係話點樣喺朝早我哋起身嘅時候啦，之後就係話第2部分就係我哋喺一個成日嘅生活裏邊點樣修持佛法。第3部分就係喺夜晚可能臨瞓之前係點樣修持佛法。咁喺早上咧嗰部分咧就係話，首先我哋一朝早起身嘅時候咧，好重要第一個念頭咧就係我哋要生起一個好嘅心，或者係我哋生起一個慈悲心，發呢個慈悲心嘅一起身，第一個念頭醒咗之後嘅第一念頭。點解要去咁做呢？就係話因為當我哋瞓醒之後呢，特別就係嗰一刻呢，我哋嘅精神係比較清晰嘅，同埋當然前提就係話你之前一晚要瞓得好啦。咁就係如果你之前一晚瞓得好嘅話呢，你嗰一刻一醒嘅時候個精神狀態係比較清晰，係比較明確嘅個人。咁喺嗰刻咧，你就好重要去調節你嘅心念，就係話可以嘅話，你俾自己5至10分鐘嘅時間，去令自己去發起一個心，就係話咧靜落嚟，就係希望思維咧，即係靜。首先就係靜落嚟啦，自己有一個空間，就唔好俾其他人騷擾到。之後你就要發一個心，就係話希望喺呢一日裏邊咧，我哋盡量去唔傷害任何眾生，亦都希望喺呢一日裏邊咧，我哋盡量用我哋嘅全力咧去利益其他嘅眾生。咁點解呢一個修持係非常重要或者係非常有力嘅咧？就係因為咧，如果當你一朝早起身嘅時候咧，你發咗呢一個咁嘅善良正面嘅心嘅話呢，咁樣喺你之後成日嘅工作裏邊呢，其實呢，你都會係因為早上呢一個發生咧，令到你成日嘅工作呢都會係或者做嘅所有嘢呢都會有呢一個咁嘅影響嘅意思，就係話希望盡量唔好去傷害到任何眾生同埋盡量利益眾生嘅。咁所以就係話，如果你可以喺朝早起身嘅時候能夠抽出5至10分鐘嘅時間去令自己生起呢個心嘅話呢，咁其實呢，佢就會能夠令到你之後成日嘅生活呢都能夠保持住一個利他同埋去唔傷害眾生嘅心。當然我哋而家仲係凡夫啦，咁我哋唔能夠做到100%完全係做到頭先我哋話利他同唔傷害眾生，但係我哋仍然可以藉呢個修持令到我哋盡量去做到頭先我哋所講就係話利他同埋唔傷害眾生。
And of course, you have to find this time that depends on how early you go to bed. So you have to have sacrifice some of your time going early to bed. And of course, many people say that I don't have enough time to meditate. I don't have enough time because I'm too much involved with the daily activities, business, profession and all. But it looks like that all of us, not only you, I don't blame on you, but all of us have enough time to watch TV. All of us has enough time to go for restaurant. All of us have time to chat in iPhone or iPad or smartphone. So if we have this time, then of course we can get at least 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes of our time just for us.
咁首先呢，如果你真係要能夠做到上述嘅修持呢，咁前提就係話可能你要好講你究竟幾多點去瞓覺啦。因為意思就係話，如果你唔晏瞓嘅呢，即係瞓覺瞓得晏呢，咁你自然可能第二朝呢就冇起身嘅時候就好趕急，就冇呢個時間去做呢個修持。但係其實呢，你可能亦都會話咁其實我真係啊，平時我做日常生活都好忙啦，我成日都冇時間去做修行嘅，因為每日可能都有好多嘢忙。但係你又試諗下就係話，咁你係咪有冇時間去睇電視啊？你係咪其實每日裏邊你都有啲時間用咗嚟睇電視，或者你去食飯啊，甚至可能你有啲時間用咗嚟去 check 你個 iPhone 或者 iPad 嘅。咁所以既然如果你都有呢啲咁嘅時間呢，咁你點會抽唔到5至10分鐘去做上述嘅修持呢？其實就係話最重要就係你嘗唔嘗試去揾呢個時間去做呢個修持。
So of course, if you feel the value of just spending few minutes for yourself, just meditating upon generating kind heart in the morning, if you really see the value, really see the benefit of this, then of course, like you try once, twice, third, then eventually it becomes like your habit, and that's wonderful if you could do this, because the great master Shantideva said that nothing is impossible or uneasy if you get used to it, or if you know the value of it. So what I'm trying to do today is here to drag your attention the importance of 5 to 10 minutes of your time in daily for the benefit of yourself, and also because of that because what you're doing is trying to generate good heart or kind heart, and that automatically benefits others because you are generating the foundation to benefit others. So therefore it is not only for yourself, but it's for other beings also, for the benefit of other beings too. So therefore try to at least get 10 to 15 minutes of your time just for you, and rest and generate good heart in the morning, and that will be very, very powerful throughout your day. That depends on your emotion, that makes your mood better.
咁所以就係話我哋有乜原動力去修持呢一個修法呢？最重要就係話你真係要明白做呢個修持嘅價值嘅意思就係話呢，咁我哋譬如話喺朝早一起身嘅時候去嘗試去修持頭先我哋講嗰個發心，去令自己有一個好嘅發心呢。咁呢個首先你就要去嘗試啦。可能你就係首先第一日一定要去，我今日開始要做啦。咁之後第二、第三次呢，就希望令呢件事呢成為一個習慣。當你變成習慣呢，你就可以比較容易去修持到啦。咁寂天菩薩就曾經講過，其實呢個世界上冇嘢係唔可能去做到嘅，最重要就係你要去嘗試嘅啫。咁但係點樣去令到你能夠去嘗試呢？個重點就係話你要明白去做呢個修持嘅價值喺邊度。咁呢個修持嘅價值其實就係為咗希望大家能夠培養出一個慈悲心，一個好嘅心。咁而呢個好嘅心係有乜用呢？其實就係除咗對你自己有益之外呢，亦都係能夠利益其他嘅眾生㗎。咁如果你明白咗呢個修持其實係，如果你能夠希望幫助眾生嘅根本，其實都係可以源於呢個修持嘅呢個發心能夠有呢個幫助嘅。咁你開始就會覺得呢個修持係值得去做㗎啦。咁如果你明白咗呢個修持係咁值得去做嘅話呢，咁希望大家能夠真係每日花5至10分鐘去做頭先我哋所講嘅修持啦。咁因為呢個修持本身亦都係非常有力量㗎，佢能夠影響到你之後成日嗰個心情，特別係能夠咧令到你有一個保持一個平和嘅一個情緒啦，同埋令到你真係能夠自利同埋利益他人嘅。
And of course, for that you have to go to early bed, at least at 11, if not 10. But in any case, if you can rise early, then doesn't matter. But if you could not, then there's a possibility of going early bed, so that you can rise early in the morning. And of course, some of you already have your own deity practices. So those people can spend more than 15 minutes, at least an hour or half an hour or so, doing your own daily rhythm practices. Some of you may have White Tara as your deity. Some of you may have Medicine Buddha as your deity. So whatever practices you are doing, you can do in the early morning, and that practice should go after taking bath, shower, or whatever. The kind generating kind heart, that is I'm talking about, just right after you raise, just on your bed you can generate that. And of course after taking shower and so forth, you can do your daily rhythm practices for about an hour, and at the same time not wasting that very minutes of the day, very precious time of the day of practicing your rhythm daily. It is very, very important that not only your body is present there, not only your verbal recitation is present there, but all your body, speech and mind are present at your practice, which means that you are sitting there reciting Medicine Buddha, but you are thinking about what you are going to do today in your office, or what dates are you going to make, what plans. If these things, of course these things comes up, even for us when you recite mantras, it is the best time to make plans actually. All the things comes up with good ideas and what not, but try to keep that aside for this precious time, and concentrate on your visualization, recitation and so forth.
咁所以就係話，如果希望大家咧能夠早啲上床瞓覺啦，夜晚咁 Campbell 就係話咁如果你10點鐘夜晚可以去瞓覺最好啦，如果唔係咧11點都得嘅。咁前提就係因為你早啲瞓咧，咁你自然第二朝就早啲起到身啦。咁所以就係話，當你如果你能夠早啲起身嘅時候咧，咁咧但係可能大家已經其實有其他嘅日修嘅一啲修持，就可能你譬如有啲你本尊法要修嘅，每日可能你要修白度母或者係藥師佛嘅，咁可能你每日都修緊可能半個鐘至1個鐘㗎啦，呢啲本尊法。咁但係呢啲本尊法咧就係你起一身之後，可能你梳洗完啦，即係刷完牙洗完面，甚至可能你沖完個涼之後咧，你先至會做呢啲本尊法嘅。而頭先我哋講嗰5至10分鐘嘅修持咧，就係喺你一起身嗰一刻喺張床上邊就坐喺度靜一靜咁樣去發呢個心嚟去做修持嘅。咁嘅意思就係話你一起身就坐喺張床度，就做咗頭先上述嗰5至10分鐘修持之後咧，咁你就可以再去梳洗啦。咁之後再梳完洗之後咧，就再修你嗰個本尊嘅修持，可能大概修半個鐘咁啦。咁但係咧，譬如當你修本尊修持嘅時候咧，最重要你亦都要提醒自己咧，唔係淨係你個身體即係坐喺度修持啦，同埋譬如話你個口、你個語喺度念誦緊嗰啲咒語，最重要就係一定要身語意都係集中喺呢個修持個上面嘅。意思就係話，可能你修持嘅時候咧，可能你念緊咒，但係你個腦裏邊可能就諗緊我之後我翻工啊，喺辦公室要做啲乜嘢啊，計劃緊嗰一日要做啲乜嘢㗎啦。咁咧Campbell 就話，雖然呢啲情況咧，可能佢哋就算佢出家人念緊咒嘅時候咧，有時都會諗緊有其他咁嘅念頭會生起嘅，就係話可能甚至有啲好好嘅念頭咧，都會喺嗰個持緊咒嘅時候突然之間會出現添嘅。咁但係最重要就係話，你係發現咗之後，你要提醒翻自己，將呢啲咁嘅念頭咧，或者呢啲諗法咧，要擺開佢啦，要擺翻個注意力落去個修持嗰度。
And after that, setting up with your having a kind thought and engaging, making breakfast, making your children ready for school and so forth. At the same time, then what practice should you apply? So now the beginning of the day or the activity of the day, then the best thing that can apply in your this activity is the motivation that you have generated in this morning. You should not forget the motivation that you have generated in the morning, which is kind heart, which is thinking positive, which is directing your mind into positive way. And if you forget this, then there will be circumstances or incidents that you may get out of patience, you may get out of your diligence. So not to forget this, and then the daily activity, what is needed is the mindfulness. Being mindful what you have committed, what you have generated in the morning, not to harm anybody or doing something good as much as possible for others. So if you remember this and being mindful what you do, then you will have a less chance to make mistakes. And if you have less chance to make mistakes, you will have less chance to become shortcomings, and you will, even though it is not practice, but your business, your plans, your thinking, your meeting plans will also go very well if you are mindful with what you are doing, and if you are aware of what you are doing, what you are saying, what you are feeling, and if you examine yourself time to time, because we cannot rely upon just on the morning thought that we spend 15 minutes is good enough for whole day. It is not, but yet it is helpful that what we have committed in the morning, and then that can apply whole day without forgetting, and being mindful at the same time, being aware of what you are doing, what you are saying, and what your actions are. So this is also still a practice.
咁好啦，第二下一步就係話咧，到我哋日常生活，即係朝早起身之後咧，我哋譬如話可能起咗身之後，我哋發完頭先我哋講過發一個慈悲嘅正面嘅心之後咧，我哋可能就之後可能要去煮早餐或者係送仔女返學啦，要做我哋日常生活要做嘅嘢啦。咁喺呢一個過程裏邊，我哋應該點樣去將呢個修持應用出嚟咧？咁呢個最重要個我哋嗰個重點就係話，我哋要保持住我哋嗰個發心。個發心就係話，我哋喺朝早一起身嘅時候，生起嗰個慈悲心同埋正面嘅心。咁嘅意思就係話咧，喺我哋日常生活，無論你做任何行為裏邊咧，我哋都盡量唔好去忘記我哋一起身朝早嗰個發嗰個正面，要去利他嗰個心。咁包括就係話，如果唔係咧，如果我哋好啦，如果我哋喺日常生活裏邊，當我哋一路做各種各樣嘅情況嘅時候，如果我哋冇去提醒翻自己，忘記咗我哋嗰個最初嗰個發心嘅時候呢，好可能我哋就好容易去落咗去開始又發脾氣啊，缺乏耐性啊，或者將我哋嗰個精進修持嗰個心呢就會減退咗噶啦。所以就係話最重要，我哋喺日常生活裏邊要保持住一個覺知，就係話唔保持住提醒翻自己，當我哋今朝發咗個心，就係話唔好去傷害他人，亦都要盡量去利益他人。一路去保持住一個咁嘅覺知，咁樣嘅如果你一路能夠保持住呢個覺知嘅話呢，咁其實呢亦都會令你喺日常生活裏邊呢減低咗做事情，譬如減低做事有啲錯誤啊，或者係呢做嘅事情呢會冇咁容易去出現問題嘅。如果係咁嘅話呢，其實呢如果你人呢一路保持住呢個覺知呢，其實對你日常生活，就算可能你工作啊、你做生意啊等各樣嘢呢，都會令佢比較做得順同埋好嘅。所以個重點就係我哋一路喺日常生活裏邊保持住嗰個覺知啦，保持住個正念啦，同埋去一路提醒或者係一路留意自己嘅身語意嘅行為，究竟係咪符合翻我哋今朝早嗰個發心，就係有冇下去保持住，都係提醒自己係唔可以傷害他人同埋利益其他眾生嘅。所以就係話我哋朝早起身嗰5至10分鐘好似好短嘅一個修行，但係呢，如果你能夠起身之後嘅日常生活裏邊一路保持住嗰個覺知同埋嗰個提醒住自己嘅話呢，咁你就能夠將嗰個發心一路延續去喺你日常生活裏邊啊。所以最重點就係話你要留意住自己嘅身語意嘅行為。
Then when you go to your work, some of you may have to go by MTR, you may have to drive a car, and so on and so forth. If you have this mindfulness with you, if you still follow the vibration of the thought that you have cultivated in the morning, then you will not get mad if there's a long traffic light. You will not get mad if somebody hits you on your way to MTR station. So because of this power, then it will make you aware that as you have committed in the morning that I will not harm anybody as much as possible. I will do something good for others as much as possible. And because of that power, it makes you calm.